watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Hello and welcome to GHS-TV's award-winning talk show, Crosstalk. I'm Calvin Nicholson. Let's talk about you. What's going on in your life, whether it's at home or at school. Memphis crime is on a rise, and it includes community crimes that often spill over into the classroom. Back in April, 2 MSCS students were shot and killed near Booker T. Washington High School. The suspects are still at large. The shooting sparked an important conversation in the community, and that's the conversation we want to have here today on Crosstalk as the new school year begins. Here with me today is Deputy Marcus Cooperwood from Shelby County Sheriff's Office Community Operations Division. Thank you for joining me today, Deputy Cooperwood.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to be here, so I certainly appreciate the invitation. And so on behalf of the Sheriff, Floyd Bonner Jr., as well as the Chief Deputy, Anthony Buckner, and countless of hard-working men and women with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, thank you for the invitation, Calvin.
Deputy Cooperwood, first I want to start with an update. Is there any update that you can bring to the Booker T. Washington shooting, or has anyone been arrested so far?
Actually, there has been one suspect, an 18-year-old male that was taken into custody. The other 3 remaining suspects are out on the large. So there are a total of 4 suspects that were caught on camera, and one is in custody, the other 3 are out on large.
How did your team respond, and what was you guys' initial reaction when it came over?
Well, when it initially happened, discuss, of course. You know, we work so hard trying to prevent crime, and that's one of the things about my unit. And actually, I used to be a school resource officer at Booker T. Washington, so it kind of hit home for me. So wanted to make a couple of phone calls to the principal and just let them know that we wanted to come over and just reach out in any type of way that we could support the school. At that point in time, we're yet to go out there, but we are going over there and we're going to speak to the kids, just not only on the dangers of the community, but just doing the right thing.
Deputy Cooperwood, you're out in the community daily. What are some of the things you see when it comes down to youth crime?
On a day-to-day basis, we're seeing that where kids are more impressionable now. You know, social media, peer pressure, and honestly, just having lack of role models is really hurting kids. They're making poor choices and poor decisions. And what kids have to understand is that the choices that you're making today will affect you tomorrow.
Deputy Cooperwood, what has changed in the way you've been on patrol for a while? What has changed in youth crime from when you may have first started to now?
Basically, things are headed in the wrong direction, unfortunately. Young people, they're catching more and more serious offenses or being charged, more serious crimes now. The access to firearms seems to be more and more that these young people are getting caught out and they're doing crimes that involve firearms. So it's definitely taking a turn for the worse. A lot of it is that we have where guns are being stolen out of vehicles. A lot of times when cars are being broken into, you think they're trying to steal a car, they're just searching for guns. And then the other problem is that we have people, homeowners or parents, that are leaving their firearms laying around where these young people are able to get easy access to them. So guns are more likely involved in today's crime versus yesterday.
What is the Sheriff's Office doing with partnering with the city and the school districts to help prevent some of this violence?
Well, that's actually where I work at, in crime prevention. So that's actually the title of my division. We go out, we teach over 31 different programs to where we try to help not only in the school system, but we also help just regular citizens. We do things like senior bullying. We teach seniors about not how to become a victim of identity theft. Believe it or not, we do swim. We talk about, swimming pool safety, So we have over 31 things that we talk about. One of our favorite things, or the most popular thing, is bringing McGruff the crime dog out to schools. The kids really get a blast out of that. So we're just trying to make a difference in the community, getting out to schools, churches, community centers, just trying to change one life at a time.
And hopefully he can take a bite out of crime.
Oh, he definitely can do that.
What is the Sheriff's Office doing, and what does your division play a role in helping build that trust between law enforcement and build that gap between law enforcement and teens? Well,
that's one of those things that, unfortunately, it didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to just be fixed overnight. This is a thing that's going to take some time. In my division, and not only my division, the hard-working men and women that work for the Sheriff's Office, we're out in our community. Like I said, we're trying to treat people the right way, and it's really simple. If we just would use the golden rule and treat others the way we want to be treated, I promise you, Shelby County, the city of Memphis, will be that much better. So we're out there trying to make a difference. We're trying to talk to the youth. We have some youth initiatives. Actually, we just left a day camp, New Direction, along with Agape. We just left a camp where we sponsored the kids. We bought pizza, we bought Capri Suns, chips, And then we brought out several units from different divisions to talk to the kids about the things that they do on a daily basis. So we just did that earlier this morning. So we just letting the kids know we don't want you to run from us. We want you to run to us.
So now, Deputy Cooper Wood, I know you've heard about this. Recently, the FBI director called Memphis the homicide capital of the United States.
Memphis, Tennessee is the homicide capital of America per capita. Didn't know that. We have a problem there. We're now addressing it. We're rolling out one of our task forces in the state of Tennessee. Our priorities, simple: crush violent crime, defend the homeland.
What kind of crossed your mind when you got that notion and you heard about that?
Oh, boy, I tell you, it kind of hurt. It kind of was like a slap in the face to kind of put that, stigma on the city. I understand that how they're judging it or how they come up with that term, they base it off per capita. So based off the population, they saying that due to our smaller population, that we have so many homicides. But no, the city of Memphis, we don't deserve that title. We're a better city than that, and it's about time for Memphians and Shelby Countyans to start standing up and showing a better light of Memphis to the whole world.
So I do want to ask you about this perimeter thing. So there is, I know for Germantown High School and specifically GPD, we work alongside GPD and they set a perimeter around the school. Do you know, is Shelby County Sheriff's working with the school district to help set perimeters so shootings like the one at Booker T. Washington can hopefully be prevented?
I wouldn't use the word, let's say, when it comes to that, we do have deputies that are in schools, Memphis City, Shelby County schools already. Now, we don't have them in every school. So with that being said, to prevent, what we're going to have to do to prevent things like that is we got to get out here and talk to the kids. We got to get out here and talk to the parents. A lot of the kids, they're like sponges, so they're only absorbing what they see from time to time. So that's one of the things that we're pushing now. We're getting ready to start. I told you we have 31 programs that we offer. We're getting ready to start with 32 because we're working on one right now where we can go talk to the parents because we have to change the parents. Because at the end of the day, the kids go home and they just absorb what they see.
Deputy Cooper Wood, what does success look like for your unit in helping back down youth crime?
Oh, success for us is just touching one life at a time. I feel like every time we go out and speak, if there's 50 kids in a room, we're trying to reach every kid in that room. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, sometimes experience is the best teacher. But what we're trying to get them to do is just listen so that they won't have to make some of the same mistakes that we've already made. So success for us is just touching one life, changing somebody's life, and changing somebody's world. Because it's so much more than just, working a 9 to 5. It's just so much more than Memphis. I want somebody to graduate from high school. Somebody that we talk to is going to be the first, person in their family to graduate high school, go off to college, and become something. So that's what success looks like to us.
Deputy Cooper Wood, if you had one message you would want to give to the young people that are watching and the parents that are watching, what would that message be?
One message. For the kids, my one message would be enjoy being young. Enjoy it because it's going to go by so fast. And, this being grown thing is just really so overrated. A lot of responsibilities and bills come with being grown. So just enjoy being young and to remember that every decision that you make is going to shape your future. So that will be my message to the young people and for the parents. I want us to get back to old school parenting where it's okay to have a great and positive relationship with your child, but I want you to be your child's parent, not their friend, so that you can, they can respect you and you can hold them up to standards, okay? And it's okay to say no, mom and dad, sometimes. It's okay to say no. So, sometimes no, you may save that child's life. You never know. So it's okay. Let's be good parents and let's try to set an example and give our kids a fighting chance out here.
Deputy Cooper Wood, it's truly been a pleasure having this conversation with you. And thank you for shedding some light on this sensitive topic.
Sure. I enjoyed it, Calvin. Always nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Law enforcement is just one part of the puzzle to stop youth violence. Up next, what is the community doing to protect young people? You're watching Crosstalk on GHS-TV. Welcome back to Crosstalk. This week, we're tackling the issue of safety in our Memphis neighborhoods. After 2 MSCS students were shot and killed shortly after school let out in the spring, what are the city and the community groups doing to keep teens safe? For that, I have 2 great guests, Dr. Reginald Boyce, Director of Community Affairs for the City of Memphis, Mr. Javante Porter from Memphis Allies, the Director of Community Relations. Dr. Boyce, Mr. Porter, thank you both for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I want to jump straight in. Before we jump in, Mr. Porter, can you just tell me a little bit about what Memphis Allies does?
Absolutely. So very grateful to be here to share about our work.
and what we're doing across the city of Memphis. So Memphis Allies is an organization most recently launched by youth villages. We're working to reduce gun violence throughout the entire city. We have a team of life coaches, case managers, clinical specialists, and outreach workers who are deploying strategies to really intervene at the time that's most needed. We serve across the entire city. We serve ages 12 to 35. Most importantly, our Switch Youth is citywide, and our Switch program is regional based. We currently have 5 Switch teams that serve in the Raleigh-Fraser community, Orange Mound, Whitehaven, South Memphis, and Hickory Hill. We're also looking to expand in 2 additional neighborhoods later this year in both Binghamton and North Memphis. And as I stated earlier, our Switch Youth program serves the entire city. So we work with youth ages 12 to 18 who are really at highest risk of gun violence. And what we consider highest risk are those individuals who have been shot or shot at within the last 12 to 18 months. They've had a relative shot or shot at. They're out of school, gang affiliated, have been just as involved previously. But we're also wanting to serve those who've yet to reach the courts, who've yet to reach the system, and so that we can really make a mindset shift.
Thank you. Dr. Boyce, you and Mr. Porter were both born and raised in the city of Memphis. So can you tell me, out of your perspective, how has the youth crime rates changed over the years?
First of all, thank you again for having us here, and I am indeed just excited about the work that you guys are doing here at Germantown High School. I'm a graduate of Bolton High School. So when I went to Bolton High School, we had skate rinks. We had movie theaters. I lived in Raleigh, right there at the county line. So I used to walk or ride my bike to the Raleigh Community Center or to the mall and go to the movies there. So we had so many different activities and places we could go. I mean, a community center was really the hangout spot to play basketball, to get phone numbers, to go swimming, to do all kind of things. So we had fun things that we can do as kids. And so you just had a lot of hands-on. And I don't know if that type of community still exists anymore. I'm not sure. I think there's just been some tangible things that are missing as far as having a community-driven upbringing, if that makes any sense, of making sure that a Calvin or Javante or Reginald is successful in their upbringing. That's how things have changed for me.
And I'll just to say, Deputy Cooperwood made a notion to say that it starts at home.
Yeah, it does.
And so I believe that truly plays a big part of that. Yeah. Mr. Porter, what are some of the factors, getting into those factors that you think play into all of this crime?
Absolutely. I think we talk about this often. What we see is this is a generational curse. Yep. To Reginald's point, we have younger parents now. We do not have that village anymore. And so when you have a large economic gap and a large educational gap between generations, what you see happens is that the crime continues to increase, and those who are coming from inner city neighborhoods decrease. Yeah. They decrease in a sense of putting themselves up to be successful. The lack of exposure, the lack of equitable resources, the lack of access to healthcare, quality healthcare, the lack of access to quality education resources and tools to help build their momentum and build their character, right? Those are a lot of factors that play into that. Food deserts, not eating healthy foods. Food and what we eat and what we put in our bodies play heavily into our minds and our brain thinking, how we shape and form and make decisions. Neighborhoods, blight. Yeah. When you have a young person who's walking past fields, grass as high as a pole line, that is not safe. And what that does is it allows a young person to think that is the norm. Yep. And that is not the norm. And so you begin to see them make decisions that does not play well. So there are several key factors that play into our crime. And what we see is that if we don't address the root causes, then what we're doing today is not just going to work. But it takes a multi-pronged approach that is everyone in this city working together to really help create safer neighborhoods. There's this village. I love the fact that you talk about that because I too can remember a village coming from Orange Mound. I'm from Orange Mound. It's like they call it Orange Mound, Tennessee. We think we're our own city, but it's the pride that was instilled in me at such a young age. We don't see that anymore. Yeah. I referenced the generational gap because moms are 18 having young children. You have their children, moms will be 30, their children are 18, they're now having a newborn at 1 and 2. When does the cycle stop? And how do we support that cycle? We do need more parental support. We need more parental resources for our young teen parents and just for our parents in general so they can really be active and know how to engage in a young person's life.
Dr. Boyce, what's your take on this?
Yeah, so I totally agree with him. By the way, Memphis Ally is an ally of the city of Memphis.
Absolutely.
We partner together. We work together at the city of Memphis. And to get back to that parental support, that's what our office does at the community fairs. We proudly call ourselves, pridefully, that's the word.
It works.
It works. Call ourselves the plug. Like literally, our job is to help the parents, the fathers, the mothers, the big brother and big sisters find employment. But then also we have what we call Opportunity R3, which is a program for youth from the age of 16 to 24. How do we get them back in school? How do we get them into the workforce environment? Again, we want to make sure we are attacking the challenges and the barriers that are keeping them from really being successful citizens, successful high school seniors or students at all, or parents. And again, we understand it is a different generation than we all grew up in. But when changes take place, we have to change with it. We have to, again, adjust our approach. So it doesn't mean that anything is impossible. We just got to do the hard work. And I'm grateful to have partners like Memphis Allies that says, hey, City of Memphis can't do this by you. You guys can't do it alone. They can't do it alone. None of us are on the island. We're not operating in a vacuum. It's going to take all hands on deck.
Mr. Porter, how does Memphis Allies adapt to the strategic and the strategies when violence impacts students?
Absolutely.
And especially directly being on campus.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm glad you say that. So the team that we hire, our outreach specialists and our life coaches, these are individuals who have once walked this lifestyle. Yeah. They can mostly relate to the young people who are committing the crimes, as well as they've been in their shoes, so they understand the pain. They also understand what it looks like to really be living in a time where you feel helpless. And so we consider those individuals on our team the cream of the crop, right? These are individuals with lived experience. And so they understand the communities, they understand the schools, they've been a part of those schools, they are a former student of those schools. And so having that type of LTO, what we call license to operate, which is your credibility, makes you a key asset when serving in those neighborhoods, also when serving the youth in those schools. What I've learned, and what all of us probably have learned over a short amount of time, is that people do not want to listen to anything you have to say until they can trust you. Yeah. Relationship is key. Relationship is important. And so building those relationships plays a major role in really building a strong rapport as you begin to make that mindset shift change with a young person.
Dr. Boyce, Mayor Young has been hosting a slew of community meetings around the city. Can you explain to me the effect of those meetings? Is there any effect happening?
Absolutely. So before the mayor, he had a 5-pillar prong, if you will, or hey, this is what he's running his campaign on. When he ran, he literally, and I believe he was on one of those teams, he had listening sessions. He had a transition team, said, hey, what will work? He brought experts. I mean, people, again, who have credibility. They got the credentials. They know exactly what the community is saying. He listened to them, and then he started hosting town halls, listening to the community. And so he heard every person loud and clear, from the town halls to the Facebook posts to the text message, hey, Mayor, let me talk to you on the side real quick. And he is so committed that one of the things that he launched, and Mr. Porter just alluded to it, is the joint office of public safety, neighborhood safety engagement, where the city and the county, they're partnering together, putting their resources together, putting their brain power together, and say, how can we attack the crime? Because while it's happening in the city, it affects the county as well. Again, no one person is ever just going to be affected by it. It's a city county-wide issue. Secondly, he just recently, I think about a month now, maybe a month and a half, just hired a director of public safety.
Now, after 5 years of work in juvenile justice at the Tennessee Department of Children's Services, Goods is back as public safety advisor to Memphis Mayor Paul Young.
It was the perfect fit for me to come back and serve in this capacity, where I could lean on not only my experience as a police officer, but my experience on the social services side as well.
And so this guy used to work with the gang unit, MGU is what they call it, multi-gang unit. And so this is someone who knows exactly how to do this work. So the mayor, again, he has a Calipari mindset. He wants all the best players right now, because the issue is we got to win right now. Ain't no rebuilding. We're going to win 10 years from now. And so he's always looking for the best of the best to attack this. And so he heard everyone, and he is now putting dollars and staff to attack this issue.
For both of you, you could directly speak to young people dealing with the struggle, dealing with any of this. What would be that message you give to them? I'm going to start with you, Mr. Porter, and then I'm going to come to you, Dr. Boyce.
That is an open question, but for me, I think it hits personal because I've been there. I'm from it. I've lived it. And for me, what works is that you have to really understand what your purpose is.
Yeah.
And if you live out your purpose on purpose, then that intent alone will carry you through. I think sometimes our young people get so caught up in social media.
Yeah.
We get so caught up in lifestyles and so caught up in the facade of how someone else is living and doing it. And we begin to measure ourselves by that. Mental health is at an all-time high, and it's like on steroids.
Come on.
And it's partially because we are feeding our young people the wrong thing. What we have to do is invest in them wholly.
Yeah.
And what that means is they're nurturing themselves by nurturing their purpose and their passion.
Yeah.
And so my charge is to any individual who is struggling, to any individual who sees themselves as hopeless, is to live out your full purpose on purpose.
Yep.
And when someone counts you out, know that God will always count you in.
Come on.
I tell people, if you count me out, you can't count.
I know that's right.
I love that. I love that.
Dr. Boyce.
And I know this, what you just said is just definitely on point with what I was going to say. So one of the things that I've done at my church is when you pass by Riverside, there's a marquee sign that's it's on the screen for about 15 seconds. And it says, "Your life has purpose." It's the longest thing you'll see on our screen when you pass by, because that is the message. I want every individual in the city of Memphis, whether you're coming from Mississippi driving through Memphis, if you're walking from Westwood through Walker Homes, whatever, like you need that constant reminder that you're here for a reason. Like you didn't just exist. I know mom might have told you're the surprise child, dad didn't think we can have kids anymore, but no, you're right, your existence is on purpose, and you are alive for a reason. And I think we have to constantly remind people why they're designed, the purpose that's on their life. And I want to say this, if you're the only person winning in your circle, the only person winning in your neighborhood and family, you ain't winning. We're not winning till all of us are winning. That's why we can't even see the stuff that happens in our city. If we help save 10,000 kids, that's good, but we're not done at 10,000 kids. We want to make sure every child in Memphis is saved. So again, we got to make sure everybody is winning together. We got to live.
Thank you, Dr. Boyce. Thank you, Mr. Porter. I tell you, this was very informational, and I really do appreciate you both for joining me, for shining a light on this sensitive issue.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Next, we complete our puzzle when we get our students' take on the issue. The Crosstalk group chat is up next after the break. Welcome back to the Crosstalk group chat. With me today is Shakira Bonner and Christopher Flynn. Thank you for joining me today, guys.
Thank you for having us.
So I want to talk about it. Going back to the Booker T. Washington shooting that happened last year. As students, how did you guys receive that? What was your perspective on the situation?
In my opinion, it didn't hit me as hard. I mean, given the area we live in, it is expected, but it was upsetting to hear that it was in a school setting with minors and students.
And I know, especially when school is supposed to be that safe place, that place to where no matter your home situation, no matter what's going on, school is that one place you can come and it's supposed to be safe. So I most definitely get your perspective there. Christopher?
Well, it's sad to see, but we can do a lot of things to straighten that up.
And I want you to speak more to that. What do you think with community organizations, the sheriff's office we spoke to, how do you think they're doing? Do you believe they're holding up their part in their end of the bargain?
No, I don't think so, because things like that wouldn't happen if they were holding their bargain up,
Mm-hmm. Your take on it?
I feel like the school board and the police as well doesn't use their power to its full potential. Students who have previously made bad choices in the past are still allowed to go into these school settings and cause more issues. So I feel like that's something that could have been prevented.
So, in Germantown High School being on an open campus, we're on an open campus. Anyone can walk in, walk out as they please. Well, of course, not without breaking policy, but they can. How do you guys feel as students at Germantown High School about that open campus? Do you feel that there are safety techniques that need to be taken into place? Do you feel safe when you're on campus?
For the most part, yes, I do feel pretty safe on campus. Every time I'm in the front, I see police officers. There's multiple police cars and multiple exits. But I do feel like with it being an open campus and all, anybody can just walk in and anybody can easily go unchecked or unnoticed.
Yeah, and to pick up on that, yeah, it's very open, and I just think that, you know, it could be a little more police presence, but yeah.
You being a freshman, there was you being new to Germantown High School, you were kind of pushed into this open campus. So from your middle school to now, like, was it a wake up call, would you say?
Yeah, wake up call. It was a big jump, and yeah, it's very open.
So I want to speak to now getting into your neighborhoods. Like, how do you feel as students, as student leaders, getting into your neighborhoods? Do you feel that there's enough police presence, enough community presence in your neighborhoods now?
Definitely not. I mean, I live in the 38125 area code. My neighborhood, for the most part, is pretty quiet, pretty chill, but not far from it is less possibly more violent neighborhoods. So it's like anybody from those neighborhoods can maybe hide out in my neighborhood where they may go unnoticed or unchecked for, which is a little like unreassuring for me.
And it's nerve-wracking it can be. Christopher?
It's very different in my neighborhood. I live in the 38135 area, and the crime rate in that area is not high. It's not bad at all, and it's a lot of police presence, and I feel safe.
And so now I want to get in. I want to talk about, we know people. We live in 38125. We know people who don't live in 38125. We have friends that may not live there. So as friends and going through and maybe wanting to go over your friend's house, so it can affect you in some way, even if you don't live in an area like that. So can you say that there's something that the police and community organizations can do to help you feel safe in the city of Memphis?
Yes, I definitely do feel like police don't really focus on gang violence specifically, since that's a big part of Memphis overall, no matter what area code you're in. I feel like they spend more time focusing on little things like car traffic and other things like that, instead of actually prioritizing people who disrupt our community and really make people feel unsafe. So yes, I definitely feel like there can be more police presence in those areas, and also in areas they feel like they shouldn't be in. Because regardless of whatever area code we're in, police presence is needed everywhere. And I feel like that neglect over certain areas is what makes the violence grow more and more each day.
And I agree. Christopher?
The area my friends live in, I know some friends that live in Whitehaven. So, you know, that area is like, it's not very safe, and a lot of things could be done, like, and more police presence, like she said. They need to focus more on gang violence and shootings and stuff that happen, instead of focusing on little things.
I want to thank you both for joining me today. It's truly been a pleasure having this conversation with you.
Sir, thank you.
For more information on our programming, please check us out on the web at GHS-TV.org, where we're streaming live 24 hours a day. You can check us out on Facebook and Instagram. I'm Calvin Nicholson, and from all of us here at GHS-TV, thank you for watching Crosstalk, and I hope to see you again.